What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you had a good week. I don't like these jumbled MLB starts, man. Give me a 6 p.m. slate every night, or 7 p.m. Eastern for you weirdos out there, you know. And that way we can get freaking like yesterday was what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Maybe Tuesday. Yeah, I had a killer workout on Tuesday, but hopefully you guys are doing all right. Hopefully you're having a profitable DFS week, MLB, NBA, whatever you play. Let me charge my phone while we blabber. Shout out to the live chat, Dang Lazy Mofo, Catalza, Jeff, my name is Jake, Caleb, the reigning, defending tag team. Yes, I am. Look at them, both up there. My partner left them here. What up, Rob? What up, Dylan? Hope you guys are doing all right. We've got a lot of baseball to break down tonight, but it's okay. It's pretty easy because we have the power of the RunDFS.com MLB VIP spreadsheet. We'll be using that throughout the duration of this stream. If you guys want to add it to your repertoire of tools, expedite your daily research process, go to RunDFS.com, click VIP memberships, and find one that's right for you. Here is a notice. In the next coming days, we're gonna be taking off the season pass and the year pass because it's starting to get to the halfway point, right? So we might repackage one for like an end of year, but what we got now is there's a coupon for this year pass. This right now it's at $3.99, which is still a decent deal. Coupon code YEAR will take that down to $260, and this can only be used 5 times. After the 5th time, there's no more year passes in the current form that it's in, right? So heads up on that one if you've been sitting on getting locked into the rest of the baseball season or the rest of the year. That is going to be a limited time, and then for the dog days of summer, we'll just see week passes, 2-week passes, and month passes, and then I guess when football comes back, there'll be more like bulk specials, right? But that's cool. That's a good thing. I've been getting to Snell and Gore for pitching. Let's go. What up, Shannon? Also, if you get a VIP pass right now, when I try to update WordPress, this post in the back end, I get this white screen of death. I did some research on it, and it's a thing. And one of the suggested cures is the thing I hate doing more than life. It's I don't hate life. Hold up. Is to clear cache and fudge, man. If every time I do that, it isn't the most annoying thing to go and get my old phone and charge it, and then 2FA back into all my different accounts and try to remember what passwords are, you know what I mean? But I'll have to do it today, later tonight. So now if you upgrade to VIP, click VIP portal. There's going to be 2 links. One link is to a spreadsheet that doesn't work. The other link is to the Discord. Get in the Discord, and then the right spreadsheet link will be in there. If you have an issue figuring that out, or if you just don't have Discord and you get VIP, DM me on Twitter, and I'll get you set up. It's kind of annoying that happens, but what are you gonna do? Didn't know James Paxton was still a thing. Is he though? I was thinking about pitching Dontrelle Willis and Jeff Samardzija, the Shark. I have Dontrelle Willis in MLB The Show. I don't know if they've ever made like a special Jeff Samardzija card in the show. They make one for everyone. Why not? Jeff Samardzija days. Was it Jeff Samardzija in Coors that for some reason he was always good? I don't know what that was. I could just be making that up. Whole lot of games tonight. Let's start with the weather. How's the music? Everything's good. Seattle, Detroit, some light rain in the air. Expect to just play through the showers. Mets at the Nats. Low chance of some late rain. Double. We're loving hyphens today. Green and yellow for Angels and Guardians. Similar to Detroit. Expect they play through some off and on light showers. Late start isn't out of the question here, but a game should play fine regardless for the Astros and White Sox. Chicago at Minnesota. Maybe a sprinkle, but nothing that stops play. Winds in from center around 10 to 15. And then Coors, temps in the 50s with winds blowing in from center around 15. It would be the worst hitting weather on the slate, except that it's Coors, so it's probably still the best hitting weather on the slate. Elevation matters. That's from Kevin Roth. Link in the chat. Make sure you bookmark that tab. That's an awesome service that he does for the community. All right, let's jump over into the RunDFS.com MLB VIP spreadsheet. Looks like Necreezy's already got a bunch of lineups in, so shout out to Necreezy. And we'll go game by game here. Lots of games to break down. So before I do that, let me make sure we good on the music. You guys can hear. We're vibing. And ready to research. And I'll let me get the player tab open for me so I can create some tiers. I usually don't like this song. See, Rays at the Yankees. We've got Trevor Kelly on the bump for the Rays. Garrett Cole going for the Yanks. Yanks lost a laugher to the Rays yesterday. Looking for Garrett Cole to right the ship. Last start, Garrett Cole was against this Tampa Bay team. In Tampa, 5 innings, 5 earnings, 2 homers. His first 2 homers of the year were against the Rays. Did have 6 strikeouts there. Hey, you're not going to be super sharp every day. Outside of that game, he has been the best pitcher possibly in the American League with samples. So I guess there's a great debate today on whether or not it's safe to go back. I believe right before I went live, I got a DM on Twitter asking that. I think waiting for the confirmed Rays lineup, but this projected lineup has plenty of strikeouts, and I'm willing to trust in Garrett Cole. So ultimately, I would not want to go into battle tonight with no zero Garrett Cole. So we'll start him off as likely a tier 2 and kind of go from there. The run total for the Rays, 3.8. Yankees are at a 5. We'll do some digging on Trevor Kelly. It looks like he's an opener, so this is going to be a bullpen game. Yikes. Who do we think is coming out? Josh Fleming. So that's kind of what happened last time. Fleming. So I'll probably put Fleming in the spreadsheet as an alt. So we'll go... let's go Josh Fleming, and then we'll switch this to a lefty. And Fleming has been not great against righties for 3 years now. So with a walk problem, not what you want. 7 on the 7th, kind of got beat up. Yeah. All right. So Yankee stack is certainly something I'm getting to. Not really there on the Rays stack, but I wouldn't fault you if you wanted to. This version of the Yankees lineup with Aaron Judge back looks pretty good. They're going to lead off Glaber here. Volpe's been struggling, even though he had a grand slam the other day. But I kind of like that, putting Volpe down about in the bottom lineup where he doesn't have as much stress to produce. And then now it lines up pretty well. 1 through 5 is certainly in play for me. Keep Volpe in the mix. Yeah, so I can easily get to 5 Yankees. So full stack is certainly in contention here. And I'm not that enamored with the Rays. If I wanted to get to them at all, and remember today is a pretty big slate, 13 games, so we're going to have to be a little bit more concise. But at the same time, I guess, I don't know, let's see if Coors is taking a lot of ownership. Because if Coors is, if it's one of those 20% Coors nights when there's 26 teams, I usually like those nights. So for the let's go to the gun view. Not really, a little bit, but not really. Who's at the top for hitters? Philly, yeah, a little bit of Coors, a little bit. So it's pretty spread out. So I was going to say maybe this Rays lineup could give me some sub-stack potential. Judge is at 12. But yeah, I can easily get to a full stack of Yankees. If I wanted to get to some Rays, I guess Randy Arozarena, Brandon Lau, two names that kind of stick out the most. Outside of that, maybe Yandy Diaz. So I'm not going to force the issue here. I'm just going to leave the Yankees on the full stack list for now. And we're going to matriculate on to the next one, and that is the Pirates up against the Baltimore Orioles. We got a 4.2 run total for the Pirates. Johan Oviedo pitching for the Pirates. Kyle Bradish. He's not Brad. He's Bradish for the Orioles. Orioles 5.1 run total. Pirates 4.2. Oviedo has had some, I don't want to say outlier strikeout games, but he's had some big strikeout games. You can kind of see the strikeout ability, right? 12.5% swing and strike rate with a 17% called strike. So those are two numbers that should be rewarding or usually be associated with a higher than a 19% K rate. And I think we've seen games this season. You remember that game against the Cardinals? We've seen some of those big strikeout games, 10 Ks against St. Louis. But generally, he's not finding the ability to put him away, and I wonder what's causing that. Let's open up Fangraphs. I wonder if he has a low first pitch strike, or he just doesn't have the ability to get a put out. My mouth is dry today. And then maybe also check out his Savant here. Regardless, I don't do too much digging here because I'm never one to really pitch against the Orioles. I'm more likely to play the Orioles here, but it is kind of funky to see those type of numbers not be attached to like a 22-24% K rate. First pitch strike is almost 60%, right? Could be better, could be worse. What's the walks looking like? I guess we can have that in the spreadsheet. Walks against righties, so I guess that's what's interfering with his ability to get strikeouts. He's actually striking out lefties at a good clip because he cut his walks down dramatically from the last 2 years. And this is a lineup that comes with a lot of lefties. So if you really want to get creative at 6,300, like there's a puncher's chance where that could hit, right? And in this lineup, we have just Mountcastle, Hayes, and Mateo batting righty here. So yeah, we can focus on the lefty splits a little bit more. And there's some merit at 6,300 on DraftKings. Like I don't think that's the craziest click in your back pocket. He's also allowing a 1.35 home run per night to lefties and a 310 average. And I'm more on the play the Orioles side than anything. But I guess I wouldn't point and laugh at you if you had some Oviedo. But I am going to nominate Orioles as a full stack. Pirates against Bradish. Bradish has a 5.26 expected ERA, a 1.73 whip, almost an 11% barrel rate. Cumulatively, very, very bad. So you can make a case for the Pirates. It's hard to get behind a full stack of Pirates. I will say I do like that this lineup kind of looks like the Orioles lineup where they put as much lefties or switchies that'll bat lefty in there as possible to take away from the righties getting their power suppressed from that deep left field. So if we got any power out of these lefties, we got Brian Reynolds, who has an 855 OPS since the beginning of last year against the righties, 227 ISO. Jack Swinski has a lot of power. So those two guys are on power watch. Bradish, to his credit, hasn't allowed a lot of hard contact or a lot of fly balls to lefties, but does have an elevated line drive rate and an elevated walk rate. So both bullpens project better than usual. But a plus park here. I think I'm going to nominate a full stack for Orioles and perhaps a sub stack for Pirates. And I mean like Reynolds, Sawinski, and I guess spin the wheel, make a deal. Maybe you can Brian Hayes just because he's good, you know. And that's how I approach that. Don't really have an interest in either pitcher, but I think you can make the case for Oviedo, just focusing on those lefty splits. And I guess thinking about that, let's go over to PrizePicks. Does Oviedo have a like a lower prop line because of his inequities lately? Oviedo, he's at 4 strikeouts. That is so tempting. Very, very tempting. Just because of his strikeout rate, right? 23%. And we look at these lefties. Mullins is a hard K. Santander is a hard K. Frazier's a hard K. He might steal one there. That's a pretty tempting line, though. Let me see. MLB prop odds. Let's see if the market's like thinking. I'll put the this action page. I googled it the other day. It's kind of convenient. Pull the tab. What are you doing? Oh, wait, where'd it go? Huh. What's up, Travis? Reynolds, Sawinski, and you like Jihan Bay? Yeah, I could get behind that. All right, so, do they do game by game props, or is this an okie doke? Oviedo. So I guess the 4.5 got pushed down to 4. So, makes sense. It's tempting though. Just focus on that lefty stuff. If we circle back later and I don't have enough pitching, I might throw some Oviedo as a tier 3, bottom of the barrel tier 3, DraftKings only type of play. Just because I can kind of see it, you know. All right, let's move on to Mets and Nats. We got Tyler Maygill taking on Mackenzie Gore. Mets have a 4.7 run total. Nats 4.5. Maygill historically and into this season has been extremely splitty. Although this season his splits against righties aren't great either. But he is historically not good. 4+ to 5+ xFIPs against lefties. Sub 20% K rate the last 2 years. Almost a aggregate 290+ average allowed. 14% walk rate this year against the lefties. So struggling against lefties. Nats have a few of them. Just 3 righties today. So not an upside spot pre-flop for my estimation. So I'm probably not going to be that interested in Tyler Maygill on this side. Slate, Mackenzie Gore running him back. Has a 1.43 whip. Does have a 3.71 expected ERA, 3.82 Sierra. And his actual ERA is not too bad either. We'd like to get that whip down. It looks like that's going to be a product of this ridiculous 27% walk rate to lefties. That's kind of weird, right? Let's see. Mackenzie Gore. The Mets, by the way, are about league average in WRC plus against lefties. Okay ISO, 404 team slugging, 21% K rate. So on the forefront, if you get past the name value, it's kind of like an average matchup, right? There's still some tough bats that I think the Mets end up being better than a league average team overall. But Mackenzie Gore is one of those pitchers that has enough talent that I want to take a look at. I'm going to see exactly how many walks. So it's only 5 innings with 9 walks. That's ridiculous, but it's still just 5 innings, right? So kind of expect that to level out. And then 10 walks in 32 innings against righties. That's still something that maybe we wouldn't like. But the 30% K rate lives. So I think at sub 9K, I think we get to a little bit at that price point. Is he attached to any ownership? Let me refresh now. What up, Daniel? Hip replacement. Bro, that's one of those surgeries that everyone that I know that gets it or have heard of getting it is like, man, I wish I had done this sooner. So hopefully you're back out there really soon, man. What am I looking for? Oh, I'm trying to see. Yo, Kyle Bradish has 16% ownership on him. That's crazy. But Gore only 4%. So I think that's worth it. I think the 30% K rate at that ownership is kind of worth it. I certainly, don't have the high hopes here. Might be a little scumdacker spot. Gore hasn't really been a home run threat, a 54% ground ball rate. So if you can keep the ball on the ground here against this lineup, yeah, I think he makes the pull at 3% own. So let's do that. Let's also capitalize it. Mackenzie Gore. And then, do we want to get to some Mets? Maybe we spin the wheel, make a deal on the one-offs, right? If you get the errant bombs out of Alonso or Eduardo Escobar in the bottom of the lineup, sure. Tyler Megill, though, I don't want to pitch him. And if I don't want to pitch Megill, then I would feel kind of dumb to not have some bits and pieces against him. Again, 13-game slate. I can't just, like, 5-man stack 20 teams. I guess theoretically I could, but I don't want to. So how would I approach this? Well, maybe I want to, substack in the Nats is the way to do that. So focusing on what Megill's the worst at, it's basically keeping lefties off base. His power metrics this year to last year honestly look like they could be due for some regression, right? Coming into the season, a 1.8 plus home run per 9 to lefties. And if you look at his batted ball data, his ground ball rate went down. His fly ball rate went up. The hard contact rate's about the same. So he might be a little bit lucky compared to his league or his career average of like home run to fly ball rate. So that might be due for some regression. So there's not a lot of power lefties anyway, but a chip in a chair, right? We've seen Garcia homer in the last week. Maybe a Don. You know what I'm saying? So it might be Substack worthy. But otherwise, it looks like it could just be death by paper cut. So let's hold off before we nominate them for a Substack. But I know I don't want to pitch Megill. I'm going to get to a little Mackenzie Gore. I'll probably Substack some Mets if that's how we want to roll, right? Yeah. What up, Humboldt? Hope you're doing all right. What up, Jack? Hope you're doing all right. Underweight to cores. It's okay. It's a big slate. Many ways to skin a cat. Travis, how are you older, dude? Are you over 45? That's usually like a 50, 60-year-old person. I hear it a lot because in wrestling, it's like all wrestlers, when they hit like 60, it's like, oh, it's time for the GoFundMe hip replacement. But when they get it, it's just like, man, they're a whole new person. So I honestly can't hear of any story where somebody regretted that. So I'm happy for you because I think you're gonna have a new lease on life pretty soon. So congrats. Enjoy that bed rest and ice cream or whatever whatever you got to do. Braves and the Blue Jays. Here we go. Some heavy hitters. Braves throwing Spencer Strider. Blue Jays throwing Chris Bassett. 3.9 run total for the Blue Jays, 4.8 for the Braves. So a pretty decent amount of respect on the run total for the Braves here up against Bassett. Bassett this season, 5.19 expected ERA, sub 20% K rate. Ground ball rate to righties is at 47%. Non-existent to lefties at 32% with a high walk rate and high power allowed. Lucky for him, there's only, I guess there's 4 lefties. So Olsen's a big threat here. Rosario, meh. Albies, meh. Michael Harris, threat. So those are 2 guys, if you're worried about those power metrics, that he's got to get by. Still has an elevated xFIP to lefties the last 3 years, but that has been his main source of unsuccess this season. And then Spencer Strider is just one of the elite upper echelon tiered pitchers. Big time matchup for him. This is just a Blue Jays team that strikes out less than 18% this year against righties. But individually, you could see Bo Bichette, Varsho, Matt Chapman, Brandon Belt, Kevin Kiermaier since the beginning of last year have over 20% K rates, 23% aggregate. But yeah, Matt Chapman's looking like a different guy this year. Almost a 30% barrel rate this season. That's actually stupid. But Strider is Strider. So I don't think, kind of like Garrett Cole, even in tough matchups, guys like Strider, like they're the S tier of pitchers in the league. They just have, they're built different. So I don't think it's likely that I would want to go to Ward tonight without Strider. 12.2K, we are starting to get some tight pricing for pitchers when a guy gets there, but I'm a believer. So I always say bad hitting beats bad pitching, and then I say good pitching can beat bad or good hitting. That's kind of how I'm here. But I also probably will scum Dacker this just because I would assume Strider picks up enough ownership that maybe it suppresses the Blue Jays here. Strider is third in ownership. So inversely, if we pull up the Blue Jays, Toronto, there we go. Yeah, they're less than 1%. I mean, it's almost like I don't care who's pitching. If I can get the Blue Jays under 1%, I gotta get the Blue Jays, right? It's just a power play on betting on talent. So let's do that. We'll scum Dacker that spot. Oh shoot, why did I type Pirates? We'll go Blue Jays, and then the Braves. The Braves are like one of those teams I stack every slate just because they give me a little bit of everything, a little bit of power, a little bit of speed. And they're coming in pretty modestly owned too. So this is, again, more of a bet on talent situation. Not going to be a scum Dagger spot because I don't know that I feel that pressure to stack or to pitch Bassett. I don't think I do. But Bassett's had a couple games lately where he's kind of find it. But I think it is perhaps relative to if the other team's throwing out enough lefties or not. He's walking away with some usable scores. Like at 8,200, there's only 2 games in his game log that I really wouldn't want to use. But those advanced metrics are kind of scaring me against a good Blue Jays team or a good Braves team. Although Braves really not that high in WRC plus themselves against righties. Feels like they would be better. Matt Olson, the highest Brave on the bomb detector. That matches up pretty well with Bassett's home run problem this season to lefties. So I'll bet on talent. We might have to think about pitching Bassett. I think right now I'm going to say no. But if we're being honest, the Braves do offer more K upside than the Blue Jays, but Bassett is no Spencer Strider. So we'll think about that. Let's put Bassett and Oviedo in a notepad as guys that let me think about it, and if we don't have enough options later tonight, we'll come back and throw them in the mix. But I would need Bassett to not have ownership. Oviedo doesn't have ownership. Bassett, it's at 3%, right? Oviedo 1%. So the fact that they're really low owned is another check mark for me, so we can diversify the back end of a CSV and not have to give up too much equity to be above the field, right? So I dig it. 39? Oh, wow. You got it early then. Be 40 next month. Had the surgery Monday. Getting around the house pretty good on my own today. Well, that's pretty good. God dang, Travis. You have a career that involved a lot of... Are you a wrestler? A lot of bumping? Ownership on Snell and Gore is pretty appealing, yeah. What up, Dominator? Quite a bit of K's in a Rays lineup, like Cole K prop over on PrizePicks. Yeah, what is it? Did the Rays lineup come out? I don't think I had it confirmed. Oh, it did come out. Maybe I did have it confirmed. Are you sure it wasn't nothing? Cole's at 7. It is up there. Let's see what's the market at for Garrett Cole. So the market actually bet that down, but 7 is pushable, right? So I don't think you're crazy to be there, bro. It's at 6.5 at. Is this Bleacher Report? What the flip? Oh, if you like 7, go get an account on Bleacher Report. Apparently, yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Did we have that in there? We don't, but we can green light it now. Franco's in the lineup. They took him out of the game yesterday. I thought he was hurt. So that's another bump for the Rays lineup. This lineup is kind of nasty. Or at least 1 through 4. Isaac Paredes. One thing I've noticed every year, Yankees give up the most random 3 home run game to a nobody. We did it this year with Jordan Diaz. We've done it to Isaac Paredes in this game. Was it Ronald Guzman? It's just crazy. A bunch of nobodies. Vladdy Guerrero, bunch of nobodies we give up 3 home run games to Let's get back. We're done with this game, right? So Blue Jay stack, yes. So Braves, yeah, we'll go Braves full stack. But this is, I mean, these guys, these stacks can be 5% or less, and we're there, right? And then obviously Strider's a must have some. Must have some. Red Sox are your single entry stack. Dig it. They're around 20% as a team. Who's that? Oh, 20% K rate for the Rays. Yeah, it's like half and half. There's 4 guys that don't really strike out, and then there's 5 guys that do. And the 5 guys that do are about 1 and 4. But 2 of those are Rosarina and Lau, and those are still some dangerous bats to get around. And if they do make contact, we got like an aggregate. Look at these barrel rates. It's actually stupid. So it's half and half. Bottom of the lineup should be a free 3 if you bet those middle inning strikeout props on PrizePicks. Look for that lane. But it's not like it's not like they all are at 19, 20. It's like somewhere at 25, somewhere at 18. And kind of meet in the middle. On the season, they strike out 22% against righties. But their lineups are pretty fluid. All right, Angels at the Guardians. Tyler Anderson taking on Logan Allen. Pair of southpaws. We got a 4.1 run total for the Angels, 4.6 for the Guardians. Tyler Anderson, 5.4 expected ERA, 1.64 on the whip. Nothing here that I really want to play at 16% K rate. It's like pure contact, even though his swing and strike rate's almost 12%. That's not really helping him in getting those punchies. Logan Allen, a 5.69 expected ERA. So this is the Logan Allen that we have to remember. There used to be a Logan Allen, and then there's another one. So I think it is possible that the spreadsheet is pulling the wrong one, or at least from the historical stats. But I think this season's stats should be accurate. So maybe we ignore the other 2, but this season should be on point. But let me double check that just to make sure. His 12.4% swing and strike rate, and then xFIP 383. So 12.4383 will be our verification. 12.4. We don't have xFIP here. We just leave it up here. So, but the 12.4 is right. So this year's stats is on point. And this year, he's had 2 games with positive xFIP, 1 game with a really bad one. Overall, the swing and strike rate has been okay. We expect him to be good eventually. Will he put it together today? Man, that's going to be a no. I hope the other Logan Allen doesn't pitch. I'll have to go through and manually delete the other one. 20 Ks in 14 innings in the minors, so over a K per inning. Career stats 340, big time strikeout guy. So eventually he's going to be a strikeout artist if he gets to where he needs to be. And so far he's 1 in 4 plus strikeouts. So this is an Angels lineup that has a lot of ISO, a lot of OPS against lefties. A 115 WRC plus, so it is a negative matchup for Logan Allen. At 7,800, if you're playing him, you're just hoping for low ownership and strikeouts. The strikeouts would probably be coming from Trout, Ohtani, and those are 2, just insanely tough matchups. And then Renfroe, Drury. So I think ultimately, I don't think I have what it takes to play Logan Allen in this matchup, because I think the Angels are actually pretty good against lefties. Guardians bullpen generally good. Guys like Stefan, Clase. Let's go bullpen usage. Sue might be ready. Is there any other lefty that might back up Logan Allen? Control F. Looks like everyone's probably available today, so you never know. Clase would just be in a 9th. And then Stefan and Karinchak are two heavy hitters in the middle. So if they can bridge that gap, it could cut the game in half. But generally, though, I do like the thought of the Angels against a lefty with the road aspect here. Bomb Detector's liking a lot of the Angels as well. And that's unique because it's not like he's given up a ton of homers so far, but the batted ball data is giving us lots of home run stuff. So the 48% hard contact rate, the 15% barrel rate, the 43% fly ball rate, those three alone put together are big time home run numbers, or home run generating numbers. So it looks like he might be a little bit lucky when it comes to that. Let's see if his minor league splits against righties indicate that he should be giving us homers. Nothing there from this season. Let's go to last year. Fought a lot growing up. I feel that. You guys might be surprised about how many fights I had to be in, but it was all paid fights from working out of prison. The Concrete Jungle. 7 homers and 54 innings. So he does have a little bit of a home run problem in the minor league level too. So that's exacerbated in short samples so far in the major league level. So yeah, I guess I can get to some Angels. And do we have to get crazy with it? I think Hulk Hogan has something like that, Travis. He had all those. He's had multiple hip surgeries, I think. But now I read, and Hulk Hogan, you never know what the truth is with him. But he claims he can't even feel his legs now, which I don't know about all that. But I'm glad you got that taken out, because you're still young enough, right? 40 years old, 39. Get that replaced. It's like a whole new. Could you imagine wasting 20 years of your life with a bad hip? You can't do nothing. And then at 60, you're like, all right, I'll get it. I'm glad you got it out the way, you know. Pretty low owned as a team. Trial 3%. I'll take it. So we'll full stack them. The Guardians are kind of anemic when it comes to power, right? 112 ISO, 71 WRC plus against lefties. You feel like this team would be better. They don't strike out a ton here. 21% as a team. This particular lineup offering just 3 big K guys: Mizunino, Arias, and Josh Naylor. So maybe we like substack a J-Ram or an Ahmed Rosario, something like that. Just because Tyler Anderson kind of sucks. I think that's what we do. We just substack. Fun. We had some fun. I mean, on top of the prison fights, I still just tear myself up every other weekend for anyway. Yeah, that Cornette bump is still nasty. He was crazy. And then it's funny hearing him yell at like the youngsters doing dumb stuff like that. It's like, you did it too, Jim. He's funny though. I've met him a few times. Josh Lowe should be Rookie of the Year front runner if he was eligible. I mean, if he keeps playing it. Or you mean like Josh? You mean he's not eligible because he hasn't played enough, or has he played too much? The rookie rules in baseball are kind of dumb. Adam Wainwright taking on James Paxton. And Paxton's making his 2023 debut. It actually might be his first game in 2 years. So let's see if he's pitched in the minors. I haven't broken anything. I definitely have a crunchy neck. My left shoulder hurts. My knee, I call it the double pop of doom. Every time I stand up, both my knees pop. So my body is running out of cartilage. But thank God, literally, I haven't broken anything. I've fractured inside of my hip once doing some dumb stuff in Philadelphia, but yeah, maybe one day. The thing is, I have a phobia of being put to sleep. So I don't know if I'd ever be brave enough to do voluntary surgery. So we've got a 6.23 ERA, 26 Ks in 21 innings, and a 1.57 WHIP. That's not great. It's not great. What the homers looking like? No, 2 homers against righties in 15 innings. So, looks like he's still, oh my God, 10 walks in 6 innings against lefties, 6 walks in 15. Jesus, Paxton. Paxton's looking washed. And to think, like, they have to call him up because they don't have pitching, right? The strikeouts have been there. But he's been a fly ball pitcher with a walk problem. And you know me, I can't quit the Cardinals against a lefty. I just can't. So, you put this team in Fenway, and I'm going to stack them. I'm just going to stack them. Wainwright on the bump here against the Red Sox, 3.7 expected ERA, 1.6 WHIP. That seems elevated. 400 average to lefties, 333 to righties. This BABIP must be like cray-cray. I'm starting to say cray-cray now. Decided I'm bringing it back. McNeil was a rookie at 26 or something like that. I just mean like the rules are kind of dumb where like you can come play like a month of baseball and then still be considered a rookie next season. Not that like I don't think that's fair, but it's just wonky, you know. Baseball's so unique in a lot of aspects. But heck, Ben Simmons is still a rookie, right? And Jason Tatum's 18. 9% swing and strike rate for Wayno. Alright, so all that's on one game. Ooh, we need some caffeine. So, what do you want to talk about? BABIP, 400 and a 500 BABIP. Yeah, a little bit unlucky, but it's a one game. Things happen in one game. But Wainwright's usually not a guy I want to play at a high level anyway. In this Red Sox lineup, we can kind of hyper-focus on the lefty splits. Going back to last year even, 16% K rate last year to lefty. So even if we progress to what he did last year, it's not like a high upside DFS spot, in my opinion. And then it's just a very volatile ballpark. And because of that, I'm more likely to stack a team against a contact-esque pitcher in Fenway. So we'll go Red Sox. I think the Cardinals right now, if I had to take halfway through these games, if I had to take a single entry, I can't stop the pain. And I would have to stack the Cardinals, bro. The Cardinals and the Mariners are like my weakness. I can't not play them. But this 1 through 4 in the St. Louis lineup is nasty. And I don't really have, I'm not pitching either one of those pitchers. I have titanium hardware in my left ankle, left hand, and now right hip. God dang, bro. Bro, you'll never walk through an airport security without being stopped again in your life, huh? Shouldn't be a rookie at 26. Do you think the rookie rule should be an age thing or an experience thing? Because Judge was like 26 or 27, right? He was kind of old when he got brought up, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. I feel like Judge is 30, 31 now. Aaron Judge age as rookie. He was 24. Oh, maybe I'm completely making that up. Huh. Gets 20, but still, You know, Judge is older than Mike Trout. That's always a fun fact. And Trout's been in the league forever. What up, AJ? Cubs and Twins. And Twins. Let's see what we're working with here. Cubs lineup is out. Christopher Morale. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it would also be kind of crazy if, like, I don't know, like a Japanese legend decided at 29 to come to America and play baseball, and then he just turned into a beast, right? And he would be eligible for Rookie of the Year at like 28 years old, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I've never thought about the age limits on what should make a rookie, because the definition is just, being your freshman year, right? Holy cow, there's a lot of strikeouts in this lineup. All right, so $10K for Sonny Gray, 2.84 expected ERA, a 1.34 actual ERA, a 29% K rate, 18.2% called strike rate. I mean, he's always had a good called strike rate, and this year almost a 13% swinging strike rate. Now that we have a confirmed Cubs lineup, Cubs have a 3.5 run total. Wind is blowing in. Chat, question: are we going to tier 1 Sonny Gray? Because I'm leaning yes. This is a lot of strikeouts. What is our Sonny Gray line over at PrizePicks? They have 6 Ks for Sonny Gray. Chat, I'd be slamming that. It's at 6.5, and juice is on the over on Fanduel. But at other books, the little juice on the under. So it's kind of, the market disagrees, but it's 6 no matter what. Against that lineup, yeah, give me that. I'm taking that. That's me all day. So if you guys want a little, let's go PrizePicks. Sonny Gray over 6 Ks, and a push, like 6 seems like the minimum, right? And then I don't know. Cubs can play spoiler, but how do I not think that Sonny Gray talent versus matchup is not like the best click, right? Like Cole's matchup can be a little pesky. Spencer Strider's matchup can be a little pesky. Cubs, I guess, technically a pesky matchup in terms of team metrics, 21% K rate, 108 WRC plus. But my God, the upsides here. Got to get past Morel and Wisdom. I think Morel is based on small sample size. Wisdom, you got to make contact. So, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Sonny Gray might be my highest owned pitcher today. Let's see what that is relative to the field. You going to the Twins game? Let's go. Gurriel came to the big leagues at 37. Yeah, that's a good example. Ownership is Corbin Burns, so I guess we'll do some digging there, but we got to scroll down outside the top 5 to get to Sonny Gray. Can Waldichuk squeeze me? I'm sorry, what? That has to be an error, right? How? That's crazy. That can't be right. Maybe it is. What do I know? All right, Sonny Gray is tier 1 for me. And the Twins against Drew Smyly. So, Smyly, ground ball rates almost a career low against righties. Fly ball rates up there. Just not allowing a lot of hard contact when blowing it. So, I think sub-stack Twins minimum. There's usually a team I do like to get full stacky on because they have some fun names. Buxton, Correa, Polanco. But let's go sub-stack for now. We change it. I hear emergency vehicle sirens, and then I hear dogs howling on my left ear. It's kind of funny. Did you just get Boston St. Louis? No, I didn't. I think I just went on a little monologue about how Cardinals are. I'm stacking both of them. Paxton's minor league numbers are not that impressive. Wainwright's a contact guy. It's Fenway Park. Cardinals will probably be my single entry stack from where I'm standing now. That can't be that contrarian, can it? Although I can understand if the field's given up on St. Louis. It's not that contrarian at all. All right, so maybe I take that back because I said that statement without realizing that the Cardinals might be the chalkiest team on the slate. I guess them and the Phillies. Yeah. Q. Royals and the Brewers. Brewers lineup is out. Owen Miller, William Contreras, Willie Adames, Christian Yelich, Brian Anderson, Luke Voigt, Rowdy Tellez, Tyrone Taylor. Hey, I'm Tyrone. Joey Weimer. Lot of righties. Man, I have dry mouth today. Josh Taylor taking on Corbin Burns. Josh Taylor, 4.24 in the expected ERA, 11 innings of work, 18.5% barrel rate. It's kind of rough out of the gates for him. And rough out of the gates enough for Corbin Burns, but I get it. Royals suck. 82 WRC plus against righties, 24.5% K rate. Those two numbers right there kind of enough to be like, yeah, it's Corbin Burns. I'm going to take a shot. Burns has had an up and down. Feels like more downs than ups, but this is a get-right matchup. The only thing I don't like is the fact that right now it's projected to be the highest owned pitcher on the slate. So kind of a show me something. And I think for me, it's more of a ownership pivot. I'm not saying full fade here, but we just saw him at 40%. And the matchup is great. And if this was last year, Corbin Burns, I wouldn't bat an eye. But if you're going to be double, first of all, this Ken Waldichuk, I can't not get away from that. But for me, like, Sonny Gray is, like, the man. And even in, like, raw projections. So I haven't uploaded my projections, but just, like, going off of Fantasy Cruncher's projections, like, Sonny Gray is number 2 anyway. So Burns, it feels like he's overvalued, almost dramatically. So I'll probably go tier 3. Just because, you know, if he gets me get me over 20, right? If everyone gets 20, it's whatever. I think if you get 20 out of a pitcher, still got a puncher shot. But I don't want to be 40% invested because the field is. You know what I mean? I want to be holding hands with everybody. So that's where I'm at. It's more of an ownership thing and the fact that he really hasn't been that guy, pal. And there's enough pivots already in terms of just pure upside that if you guys want to say, yeah, I don't need to touch that, if you're only running 10 liners, 3 liners, something like that, I don't think that's a crazy call either on a, what do we say, 26 team slate. So Burns is an ownership thing. Matchup is a thumbs up, 5-star matchup for sure. And then because he's 40% owned, just almost feel inclined to entertain the thought of some Royals because, you know, they'll probably have negative ownership when the opposing pitcher is 40%. So Bobby Witt, Salvi, maybe some Melendez, maybe, not a ton. Yeah, this lineup sucks. Bobby Witt and Salvi, the two guys I'd be most curious with, and maybe you can get them at a decent clip of ownership here. So that's what we're dealing there. I don't doubt that he's in a good matchup, but he has been rough this season. The Brewers against Josh Taylor. So I might get some more information on Josh Taylor. He's a projected opener. So let's look at KC. KC's bullpen is dog water, right? So you're only gonna get maybe 1 inning out of Taylor, and he sucks. And then Max Castillo, 2.2 innings, 1K. Let's see if he's got a minor league. Believe the Royals came into this game with one of the worst bullpens in baseball, 120 in walk per 9 plus, 108 in hit per 9 plus. Yeah, they're below average and everything. So it's gonna be a plus matchup no matter what it feels like for the Brewers. But then it's also the Brewers, so no warm and fuzzies. We'll game log for Castillo in the. Actually, let's just go splits. We don't need game logs. Here we go, night. Burns breakout game. Yeah, no, I think we're on the same wavelength there, Chuck. Like, we definitely see it, but the amount of trust that the field's given Burns after the season he's had is kind of crazy. But it's absolutely an A-plus matchup. 4 Ks and 12 innings against lefties, 5 and 11 against righties. So, contact guy. Whip is above 2 against righties, 2.65. About a 1-to-1 ground out to error ratio. Walks are elevated. And the home runs are nuts. This guy sucks. I think we get to some Brewers. 63 WRC plus. But that's against lefties. If we flip that to righties, what happens? Are they 63 no matter what? Or did this just not flip? Or do I got the wrong? Yeah, I got the wrong code. Hold on, let me fix this for emergencies. Let's go live X. Alright, so we're going to fix a coding error in the spreadsheet that I just noticed. I did it this morning. So we're going to go team versus lefties, team versus righties. No, it's, 2 versus 22, 2 versus righties. Alright, where's Milwaukee? Milwaukee, 30.8. Milwaukee, 22. So we should be seeing a 102 WRC plus against righties. And for some reason we're not. Why is that? Oh, let's switch that to righties real quick. If N23, oh, it should be O. O243. Alright, that's going to be more meticulous than I thought. I have to fix that when I go off the air, so I'll fix that in a little bit. So the Viper's looking for that. We'll, alright, I see what happened. Alright. Yeah. So I think because the Royals pitching situation is bad, I hate to do it. I'm gonna get to some Brewers. Are we getting Brewers any type of decent ownership? It felt like only 2 teams were gonna come with a premium. Yeah, we're getting pretty unknown. Michael Bush optioned. Strider has an extreme pitcher's ump. Astros at the White Sox. JP France taking on Michael Kopech. Astros lineup is out. Mauricio Dubon, Alex Bregman, Jordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, Jose Abreu, Jeremy Pena, Corey Julks, Jake Yo. I don't recognize half this lineup. And then White Sox, Timmy, Benintendi, Vaughn, Moncada, Luis Robert, Sebi, Zavalia, Elvis Andrews, Adam Hasty. Some rain. So let's go back to Roth for a second. Refresh that. He did mention that a late start wasn't out the question. Let's see if he's updated that. Nope, same thing. So late start isn't out of the question, but the game should play. JP France, 5 innings of work this season. We can look at his minor league campaign, but I don't think we're going to have a whole lot of JP France. Uh, 19 innings, 26. A lot of strikeouts. Let's split that up. No homers in 19 innings. That's good. Heavy ground ball rate to lefties. Big strikeout stuff. Does have a little bit of a walk problem. 5 walks, 10 innings to lefties. 6 walks, 9 innings to righties. There's some upside there. Matchup doesn't really strike out a ton. So I'd probably not play him here, but it is one of those, if you guys decide to take a shot on France, just because he has strikeout potential, I wouldn't fault you. But yeah, I don't know. Do we get a... Oh, they took Sonny Gray off the board, y'all. We're moving lines. They don't even have... JP France, 4.5 Ks. I'm kind of tempted. Like, I don't think I'd play him in DFS, but 4.5 for props. JP France over 4.5 Ks. We saw it in the big league level to start. 84 pitches, might get to 90 plus. He's a big strikeout guy in the minors. So 4.5 just feels like a soft enough line. I would take a shot. And let's see, this White Sox lineup is pretty split half and half. So I don't think I'd get there in DFS, but I would take a gamble on 4.5 over for France. Do we have a France lines for from the field? Yeah, it looks like there's heavy juice on the over. So if you get 4.5 right now in PrizePicks, it's value. It's well above 119. So go with that. Extreme hitters up. Well then, I guess it is. We worry about the rain a little bit too. Michael Kopech on the bump. 1.57 whip, 8.15 expected ERA. You almost never see that with like 40 innings. That's crazy. 5.19 Sierra. Like, that's so crazy. I have to double check to make sure my coding isn't broken. Put a nugget on France plus Marciano. Rocky Marciano. How come every time I talk about a K prop, Travis want to bring up Rocky Marciano? Is there a pitcher on the early slate? Is there a pitcher tonight named Marciano? Or is it on the early slate? You don't mean Marinaccio, do you? I don't think you would take a reliever. Oviedo. Oh, okay. I'm like, what the heck? What was I even doing? You done derailed me. My brain. Oh, Kopech. I was making sure, is Kopech really this bad to have that expected ERA? Yeah, he's been that bad. Jesus H. He's terrible. So we're getting to some Astros here. The lane that we'd really like if you wanted to just substack Astros, Bregman, Alvarez, Tucker for sure. Abreu is like no pot. The rest of his lineup doesn't have a ton of pot, but I like that substack a lot. So I will at least Jesus, this bullpen is dog water too. Look at this. Fudge. Let's see. That bullpen's got to be the worst looking at what I just looked at, right? Let's go teams. So we might just stack them due to the fact that Kopech and the bullpen sucks, right? You always say bad hitting beats bad pitching. Those numbers were terrible. So Chicago White Sox bullpen, the second worst WAR out of all relieving bullpens, behind only the Oakland Athletics. If we go to What's a good stat to go off of? I don't know, home runs, and let's go xFIP. What was the highest xFIP from bullpens? Chicago 6th in xFIP. Whip. Looks like they're 2nd in whip if we sort that. I like that, Monty. Yeah, 2nd in whip. That's not good. And then home run per 9, 1.58. Yeah, this White Sox bullpen is a problem. The top homer per 9. I don't think we can ignore those. I think between Kopech and that bullpen, we have to stack the Astros. Do we get an ownership deal on them? Pretty decent. Sub 10%. Yeah, I'll take that. Sure. Wow. It's 420, chat? Wow. Man, I don't even feel like we're halfway done. Oh, man. My bad. Phillies and the Rockies. Next game on the docket. Do we have a Phillies lineup yet? Coors Field. We do. Shout out to the Phillies. Trey Turner leading off. Alec Boehm, Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwab. Dude, this lineup is nasty. Don't go through. What did I do wrong here? Edmundo Sosa. All right, Coors gonna Coors. Austin Gomber's a trash can. Taijuan Walker, 4.89 expected ERA, 10% barrel rate. We're not touching either pitcher. We're stacking both teams, and then we have to understand that Phillies will come with some ownership. So, this is the matchup's so good that I can't really get behind the full fade just to full fade him, but I'll certainly be strategic in how my Phillies lineups will look, right? Which would be probably mixed with at least one low-owned pitcher and one low-owned sub-stack, something like that. It looks like there's only a few teams that are grabbing a high ownership anyway, so it's not going to be that hard to get some unique lineups anyway for Philly stacks. But always remember to keep it unique when we do that. What we got? 3 games left. Dang. All right. I think we could skip the plug. You guys heard the plug at the beginning of the show. We have 5 uses of the year pass coupon. We're going to be taking down the season pass and the year pass, but right now we'll do 5 more year passes. I don't know if anybody's bought one since we've been live. So if it's already been used, it's been used. But the coupon code's year. That's going to bring that down to 260. That's only good for 5. After 5, we're going to take those 2 off the board, and then it's just going to be week, month, and 2-week passes until like football comes back, probably. Right? All right, cool. Next game on the docket, Giants and the D-backs. So it looks like these next couple games not going to have confirmed lineups. John Brebbia taking on Ryan Nelson. Nelson 4.42 expected ERA. Brebbia been decent. 13 innings. Make sure that these guys are long for this one. They're not. Brebbia is a projected opener with Ross Stripling behind him. Stripling has been Ross Stripling, right? So let's put Ross Stripling in the spreadsheet instead. 7.24 expected ERA. He's been dog water. Do we know if Chase Field roof is open? Chase Field roof. This looks like an easy pitcher fade spot. 5-run total for the D-backs, 5.2 for the Giants. So looks like we'll want to be there. 5.12 open. So roof's going to be open. 2 bad pitchers. We're stacking the offenses. But right now we don't know exactly who those guys are. But that's how we attack that. And then we get on to the Rangers and the Athletics. Martin Perez taking on Ken Waldichuk. And for some reason, Ken Waldichuk is attached to some dumb-looking ownership. And I don't get it. 175 whip on the season, 5.8 expected ERA, almost a 10% barrel rate, sub 10% swing and strike rate, sub 19% K rate. He sucks. The Rangers, really good. So I don't get it. I full fade that if he's going to come in at that ownership. I almost don't believe it, if I'm being honest. But this last ownership projection, Waldichuk came in top 4 in projected ownership, which, no, I'm not doing it. I refuse. So I'll be fading that. And because it's been a process so far this season, one, Waldichuk sucks, and two, the Athletics are right there with the White Sox and one of the worst bullpens. So I'm stacking Rangers, and that goes without saying. So I think that's probably an error. Like, I can't believe that Waldichuk's actually that owned. If he is, I would be glad. But I'm gladly stacking Rangers, especially if that ownership is what it is. Athletics not really that interested in much here. I don't even know that I want to get to a Substack, but Brent Rooker would probably be eligible in the player pool for me. 3.86 on the bond detector. Cool. And then lastly, Padres and the Dodgers. Blake Snell up against Dustin May. Blake Snell has been rough to trust since really going back to last season. Couple of takeable games. 8,100's a price where you got me a shot at 20. I would take it. It just came off of a 19 fantasy point game against this matchup. The Dodgers, back-to-back games of finally getting into the 6th inning. His walks came back that last game after 0 against Cincy. Back-to-back starts against the same team, usually not a good thing. The hitters kind of have a recent familiarity with the pitcher, and this 1 through 4 is a pretty tough matchup. It does get easier once you get to the bottom half of the lineup, but even Trace Thompson has a little bit of pop, 20% barrel rate when he's making contact. So I'm not that enamored with Blake Snell. If he came in at like sub 16% ownership, I might put him in the back end. He's at 6%, so maybe he's in the back end. So we're gonna add him to the Oviedo, Bassett type of guys for this slate, where if you're trying to diversify 150, I think they make the cut, but in 20 or less, I probably don't feel that stuck to get there. And then Dustin May, I'm not really there on him. Sub 20% K rate, 6% swing and strike rate. He's been a contact guy, not really paying or getting punished by it. 14% walk rate to lefties, not what you want, but hasn't been giving up a ton of power. So no real reason to play him for 26 team. Does he score 30 points upsides against the Padres? Probably not. But he is kind of a hard to feel great about stacking against guy too. So Padres are a talented enough team where I probably don't not have some of them. I think they're kind of the same with the Dodgers. So at the very least, a double sub stack of this game. But if you wanted to go 4-4, especially on the Dodgers, I wouldn't fault you. And that's how we do that, right? And that is our slate. I'm sorry I ran so late. Maybe I got to make it a point on these bigger slates to maybe start earlier, because I'm not trying to go on the air opposite other streams. But we did it. If you guys got anything else for me, throw it in chat or on Twitter. Let's reshuffle the bomb detector. See what we're working with. I think it was a lot of Angels up here. Yeah, a lot of Angels. Some Dodgers. Mookie's up here. Nobody. Buxton's up there. Couple of guys. Not a ton of sample size behind it, though. All right, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys do 3 things for me, thumbs up, subscribe, tell somebody you love them. I love you. I'll see you hopefully sooner than later. Crush it tonight. I'll be in the Discord. Go to rundfs.com, get your VIP pass, jump in there. I'll see you guys later. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.